Nestled at the edge of a forgotten village, surrounded by towering trees and tangled undergrowth, stood an ancient stone well. No one remembered who had built it or when it had come into existence, but the villagers all knew one thing: it was cursed. Generations of warnings had been passed down: never draw water from the silent well. Never peer into its depths. And above all, never disturb what lies beneath. But legends, as they do, often turn into whispers of curiosity, and curiosity is a dangerous thing. Maya was not one to believe in superstitions. A young journalist in search of a breakthrough story, she found herself in the remote village of Chandrapur, where tales of the silent well intrigued her. According to the locals, those who dared to draw water from the well were never seen again. Maya, armed with her camera and recorder, decided to investigate. Curses are just stories to scare people, she told herself. Her first stop was the village elder, Dadi Ma, who reluctantly shared the tale. Many years ago, a woman named Anaya lived in this village. She was accused of witchcraft when crops failed and livestock died. Desperate to prove her innocence, she turned to the well, believed to be a portal to the spirit world. Villagers claimed they saw her whispering into it, begging for salvation. That night, the well echoed with screams, and Anaya was gone. Since then, the well has been silent, but it takes whoever dares to disturb it. The story gave Maya chills, but she brushed them off. The truth, she thought, was waiting at the bottom of that well. Under the cover of darkness, Maya made her way to the well. The air grew colder as she approached, and the forest seemed unnaturally still. Her flashlight beam danced over the moss-covered stones. She leaned over the edge, shining the light into its depths. Nothing. Just endless darkness. She lowered a microphone attached to a long cable, hoping to capture something, anything. Moments later, a faint sound crackled through her headphones. It wasn't water. It wasn't wind. It was whispering. Her heart raced. "Is someone down there?" she called out, her voice trembling. The whispers stopped. Suddenly, her rope jerked as if something had grabbed it. She yanked it back, but the microphone was gone, the end of the cable frayed and wet. Shaken but determined, she decided to return with proper equipment. She needed answers. The next morning, Maya hired a team of local laborers to help her rig a pulley system. Though hesitant, the promise of money silenced their fears. As the sun set, Maya prepared for her descent into the well. Equipped with a harness, helmet, and camera, she slowly lowered herself into the darkness. The villagers gathered at a distance, murmuring prayers. The deeper she went, the colder it became. The air smelled of damp earth and decay. Her flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows on the stone walls. About 30 feet down, her feet touched something solid, a ledge that wasn't visible from above. The ledge opened into a cavern, and Maya climbed into it, her camera capturing everything. Stalactites dripped from the ceiling, and the walls were covered in strange symbols etched into the rock. At the center of the cavern stood an altar, and on it lay a journal. The cover was worn, the pages yellowed. Maya opened it cautiously. The first entry read, "To those who find this, I am Anaya. They accused me of witchcraft, but it was this cursed well that brought ruin to our village. I sought answers here and awakened something ancient. It promised salvation but demanded sacrifice. I was the first. You may be next." A sudden rumble shook the cavern. Dust and pebbles fell from the ceiling. Maya's flashlight went out. In the pitch darkness, she heard the whispers again, louder this time, surrounding her. "Leave," the voices hissed. "Or stay forever." Panicked, Maya fumbled for her flashlight. When it flickered back on, she saw them, shadowy figures emerging from the walls, their hollow eyes fixed on her. She ran, the whispers growing into a deafening roar. Climbing back onto the rope, she screamed for the laborers to pull her up. As she ascended, something cold wrapped around her ankle, dragging her back down. Maya kicked desperately, freeing herself, but the journal slipped from her grasp, falling into the abyss. When Maya emerged from the well, She was pale and trembling. The villagers gasped at her disheveled state. "Did you see her?" Dottie-Ma asked. Maya nodded, unable to speak. That night, she locked herself in her room, replaying the footage from her camera. But instead of answers, she found more questions. The recording was filled with static, and faintly within it, the whispers continued, "You cannot escape." Days turned into weeks, and Maya's life unraveled. Shadows followed her wherever she went, and her dreams were plagued by the figures from the well. One evening, unable to bear it any longer, she returned to the well. The villagers watched as she whispered into its depths, just as Anaya had done. The next morning, Maya was gone. The well remains silent to this day, but the villagers claim that on quiet nights, you can hear whispers drifting through the forest. Some say it's the wind. Others say it's Maya, warning the curious to stay away. But the truth? That's for the next brave soul to uncover. Video description *. The Curse of the Silent Well. Dive into a spine-chilling tale of mystery and suspense as we unravel the secrets of an ancient, cursed well in a forgotten village. Passed down through generations, the villagers warn of whispers from the depths and the disappearance of those who dare to disturb it. Follow Maya, a brave journalist, as she ventures into the darkness, determined to uncover the truth. What lies beneath the surface of the silent well? Is it just superstition, or is there something far more sinister lurking in the shadows?